All right, folks, this is the Great Simulator here. This is going to be another van expediting video. This is going to be my first whole week out expediting. I'm going to give you all the stats, all the results, how much money I made, how many miles I've driven, all within my first week of driving. Now, this is my second time back, so this is not totally new to me. But nonetheless, I just dropped off my last load for the week here in Georgetown, Kentucky at Toyota. Not one of my favorite spots, but you know, it helped me make a few extra bucks to end out the week, which surprisingly it was the best week I've had. Between this week and the first time that I drove with this company. But let's get to it. For me, my week runs from 12:01 Tuesday morning until 11:59 p.m. Monday. So this is for the week of March 8th through March 15th. So I should really say March 9th through March 15th because March 8th is on a Monday. So I shouldn't say March 8th. So March 9th through March 15th. All right, so there's going to be a little discrepancy. Not really discrepancy, but it's going to be different numbers I'm going to give you for each option. Only because if you watched, I think in one of my previous videos, the first trip I had since coming back with Boat Express, I was supposed to pick up at a place. I went and got the load. I loaded it on the van. Got about 20 minutes down the road. Come to find out, dispatch sent me to the wrong place. Had the wrong load, so I had to go back. I had to return it. According to dispatch, I asked them like 2 or 3 times. I was supposed to be getting paid as if I dropped that load off. So that's where your numbers are. So that's where my numbers are going to be different. Like it's going to be 2 options or 2 numbers for every option I give you. Because if they do pay me, it's going to be 1 number. If they don't pay me, it's going to be another number. And all these numbers are estimates. So many different variables go into that. I might be, a few dollars off, might be $10 off, $20 off. But usually when I get my settlement, it's usually spot on. I'm not gonna bitch about it if it's like $20 less. I love it's $20 more, but if it's $20 less, I'm really not gonna bitch about it because that could be simple error on my part. But anyway, trip loaded miles. Okay, if I do not factor in that first load, I would have had 1,749 loaded miles. Now, if I do factor in that trip, I can't really factor it in at that point because I really didn't drive it. But assuming that I did, it'd have been 2,003 miles loaded. For deadhead miles, if I don't factor in that trip, 183 deadhead miles or empty haul miles. If I do factor in that trip, it was 248 empty haul miles. The van itself made $1,170. That's if I include that trip. $1,020 if I don't. Or no, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong numbers. The van line haul, if I do include that trip, was $1,950. If I do not include that trip, it was $1,700. Of course, with my 60%, the higher number will be $1,170. The lower number will be $1,020. That's my cut. Fuel expense, $320, which includes a $100 fuel advance that I got from my fleet owner. Now, I go through my fleet owner for fuel because I lost my COM data card. I don't know if it ever, I don't know if it ever made it out of the orientation room. I don't know if it's somewhere in his van. I just couldn't find it. So I go through my fleet owner. I avoid certain fees or whatnot. But, so it's $320 in fuel expense, which leaves me with either $850 to myself, higher number, or it leaves me with $700, the lower number. Now, I still have, fees like the insurance, which is $35, and then I have a $50 lease that, my fleet owner charges for the van. So, you factor in those numbers, it'd be $85 off. I might get some type of bonus because of my line haul total. I can't remember. It's all in the contract, which might help offset some of that expense. But as far as the week, the places that I've went, I started off in Toledo. I had a deadhead up to Warren, Michigan. Picked up there. I had to take that down to Indiana. And then the very next load, it was pretty much a local run. I went from Muncie, Indiana over to Indianapolis. Then from there, I picked up in Lebanon, Indiana, I want to say. Went over to New Jersey, Annandale. Okay, I was kind of scared about that because in the past, when I went out to New Jersey, I always ended up getting stuck. Or I don't want to say New Jersey, but anywhere in that part of the country, I always ended up getting stuck out there. But luckily, I got back out like the very next day, which that run, I had a deadhead to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I ended up getting that load from Pennsylvania going back to Indiana. And then the last load of the week, which is what I just completed today, was pretty much a direct load. I picked up out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, going to Georgetown, Kentucky at the Toyota plant. And that ended my week. I'm already pre-planned for a load tomorrow. It's another local run, probably the shortest run I've ever done. I have to deadhead like 80 miles for it, and it's only like 20 miles. It's only 20 loaded miles, but they're paying me $150. So I went ahead and took that. I was going to deadhead back up to Walton, Kentucky to go on a Cincinnati board, but they called me with that while I was in Toyota, so I went ahead and took it. Depending on how it's looking tomorrow, I still might deadhead back to Cincinnati or somewhere in Indiana. Sit out there and get on some type of different board other than, Louisville. So really that's about it. It is like, I don't know what time it is. I think it's only like 3 or 4 p.m. So I got like the rest of the day pretty much. Because I don't pick up tomorrow morning until like 8 o'clock, I believe. So I'll leave here about 6 or so, maybe a little bit before. Get out there around 7:15. Pick up that load, take it directly to Ford, which is where I'm dropping it off at. It says only 22 miles. So drop out wasn't until 10:30. I get there way before 10:30, probably around like 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, whatever. Depending on, like I said, what number I am, what position I am in, I might just stay down there in Louisville. I might move. It just all depends. If I'm like 5 or 6 out, I'll probably move. If I'm like 2 or 3, I might sit. It all depends. I'm trying to have another good week. Because I'm trying to find my own apartment and stuff. So those of you that know, which is only a few of you, it's a few things that's going on right now. And I'm trying to make it work out here because this is kind of the last hurrah for me per se. If it ain't working out here, it ain't gonna work anywhere else. So I'm trying to make it work. So I'm gonna be out here probably for another 2 weeks. Probably the first weekend in April, I'll probably go back home for a few days, take care of some business, and then come back out here and then pretty much go all the way to the end of April and then just start that whole cycle over again. But I just wanted to give you my first week out recap, for this van expedited thing I'm into. Like I said, again, this is the best week I've had ever between now and the first time that I ever drove. So that's a plus. Part of the reason is because I don't take out as many advances for my fuel. last week, or well, yeah, this week I just said I only took out the one fuel advance of $100. So, you know, that was included in that $320 fuel expense. So, so went ahead, you know, and did that, but I only took out the fuel advance once. So, you know, because usually in the past when I was taking them out, I was taking out fuel advances like every load, and my settlements would be so low. And you know, that was just a mistake and a disaster. So, you know, I'm not doing that this time. But I will include all these numbers in the description box below. If you haven't already, you know, please hit that like, hit that subscribe button. And until next time, folks, take care.